There was a recent article in USA Today by Joe Lemire that basically states everything in the title. Exit velocity proves pitchers provide minimal power to long balls. Basically what the article is saying is that most of the hard hit balls are happening on slower off-speed type pitches. The hardest hit of the year is a 120-mile-an-hour rocket that came off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton, and it was produced from a 79-mile-an-hour curveball from the Dodgers' Mike Bolsinger. There is a commonly held belief, reiterated from youth ball on up to the majors, is that a harder a pitch comes in, the harder it goes out. That's all fine and dandy, except for this caveat: it's not really all that true. Now, while there is enough evidence to point to or to indicate, there's definitely not enough evidence to prove that pitchers provide minimal power to long balls. There is a giant chasm that is in the sabermetric world. Sabermetrics provides the what. They can point at something and say, this guy got on base X% of the time. There is no why, there is no how that goes with that. And therefore, they can't possibly answer this question without understanding a couple of fundamental things. Number one, you have to understand effective velocity. Number two, you have to understand the idea of 100, 100. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to compare this with another recent article, only this was done on television. And I want you to take a look at the two pictures. On the right, here's where the baseball is, and in comparison to where Giancarlo's knee is at, you see that it's just above the knee. And in this case, you're going to see that it's just out in front of the knee. You're also going to see some other fundamental differences. Now, what 100-100 means is 100% on-time contact with 100% mechanical efficiency. These types of exit velocities are never, and I repeat, never going to happen with less than 100% efficient swing mechanics. If you look at the swing on the right, Giancarlo Stanton's left elbow is completely bent. He's drawn his hands in towards his chest because he realizes where the ball is at in space, and he's late. This is most likely a fastball, and he is nowhere near 100% on time, and he's nowhere near 100% physically being mechanically efficient. This left arm is a strong indicator that he's completely and utterly late. So this exit velocity, it's physically impossible that it's going to take place with this kind of a swing mechanic. Now, when we look over here at the left, you see the left arm is completely locked out, or barred, as most of the hitting instructors like to say. And in their mind, barred is bad. That's a whole nother discussion for a different day. But the bottom line is this: the only time that you're going to get mechanically 100% efficient for some hitters is when the pitch speed is slower. And the reason for that is because in Giancarlo Stanton's mind, he's facing Mike Bolsinger. He's prepared to hit an outside fastball. Mike Bolsinger throws about a top out of about 90, averages probably 87, 88. So 87 on the outside part of the plate is roughly about somewhere between 85 and 83. The effective speed of this curveball at 79 on the inside part of the plate is around 81. Clearly in this picture, he's a tiny bit early because he's already released his hands. There is no angle left to speak of. And in a good solid swing, he would have a little more tension built up in his wrists by having a little bit better bat lag angle. Okay, now we're not going to talk too much about mechanics because this is about the mechanic of being on time. He is a tiny bit early, and that's going to tend to happen on the lower end of the speed range that he's ready to hit. He's ready to hit 85 to about 83 is the speed that he's going to be the most prepared to hit when he's facing a pitcher that throws 90 and lives on the outside part of the plate with his fastball, because the fastball on the outside part of the plate is slower. So he's geared to that speed. He kills this pitch because he's a little bit early on it. And he kills this pitch because he is mechanically in the best place that he can physically get to. He has locked out the lead arm. The front leg is locking out or about to lock out. The backside has completely released. And he is making the longest, fastest swing that he can physically make. And that is when these types of exit velocities are going to happen. And that's why the pitch velocity is what it is. He's going to hit the slower speeds because he's going to get to a better physical place, because his mind is prepared to hit an off-speed fastball and be able to adjust to off-speed pitches. That's what 100 means.